All right, in this video, we're going to introduce our section on scatterplots and correlation. In this video, we're going to look at creating scatterplots. And so what is a scatterplot? Well, a scatterplot is nothing more than a visual display. We've actually looked at it very briefly in our other graphs section. But it's a visual display which can be used to examine an association between two variables, usually x and y. And the key word here is an association. So we want to see how different values of x may or may not impact different values of y based on the strength of the association, if there is one at all. So our independent variable x is called the explanatory variable, and the dependent variable y is called the response variable. So again, where we had independent and dependent variables from algebra class, the dependent variable y is called that because it depends on what value we plug in for x. So if we have like y equals 2x, our y value is going to be based on what we plug in for x. So if we plug in a 3, we'll get y is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. So with scatter plots and regression and all that stuff, the y is called the response variable and x is called the explanatory. So you can think of the response as responding to the values of x that we give it. So scatter plots allow us to see, again, if there is a relationship between the two variables. So example 1, the table below shows the age of a certain model of car in years with the car's current value in thousands of dollars. Create a scatter plot for the data. So we have the car's age in years, which will be our in our first column, and the value of the car in the second. Now, as far as the order goes, this one is in order where the age is your x value or your x variable, your explanatory variable, and the value of the car is the y value or the response variable. And how we can tell is typically the value of the car is dependent on the age, not the other way around. So, some cars that are classics, 60, 70-year-old cars that are in real good shape are going to be pretty valuable, probably even more valuable than a car that is brand new. So, but to create a scatter plot, all we're going to do is we're just going to plot these points, and that's it. So if you're doing this by hand, graph paper is a real good asset. There are a lot of statistical packages out there that will create a scatter plot for you. I'm going to do this on Desmos. It's a graphing calculator. And again, it is a pain because you got all these values you got to enter in as ordered pairs. But try your best not to make a mistake. That's usually the best advice I have to give you is be careful. So in Desmos here, and in fact, all of our values of x and y are going to be positive. And I know I'm going to need to zoom out a little bit so I can zoom out. To create a table, hit this little plus sign and go to table. So we're just going to type in the values. I like to type in all of my values in the first column here because I can just press enter and then type in their corresponding y values. Otherwise, you have to go back and forth, and I don't want to take all that time. So 2, 3, 3, and then 2, 4, 5, and then 6, 1, 0, and then 4 and 7. And then their corresponding y values are 15, 12, 13, 14, 13, 10, 10.5, 16.5, and 18, 14, and 11. Well, maybe I can zoom in a little bit more. So here is my scatter plot. If I wanted to include my x-axis as well. From here, you could just do a snapshot of your screen. So just look up how to do that on your particular computer. And then if you had to paste it into a document, you could do that fairly easily, or just insert the file, save the screenshot, and then insert the file. But here is a scatter plot of the data. So here I have the x values in go every 1. The y values here go by 2s. Again, these are in thousands of dollars. If I wanted to do that in Desmos, I wanted to scale my y-axis differently, I could go to graph settings and then set my x value to be between 0 and, if I just tab over 8, and then the step is 1, and then my y values will go from 0 to 20, and then the step is 2. So I have this. I can then just take a picture of this screenshot and then put it into a file or whatever it is I need to use it for. So, all right, that about does it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.